And joining us now live from Washington, D.C. is the president and CEO of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, Pat Harrison, and Thomas Vilsack, the United States Secretary of Agriculture. Nice to see you both. Thanks for talking with me. First, it's got to be incredibly gratifying to have the First Lady validate all the work that's happening on American Graduate Day. How do you think, Pat, that American Graduate Day has brought awareness to this bigger issue about dropouts and graduation?
Well, there's no question, Soledad, and it has taken so many wonderful people caring about our country's kids. And when people think of public media, I want them to think about the stations locally owned and operated in every community in America. We do have a secret agenda, and that is to create a commitment on the part of America's young people to lifelong learning. These are our kids, and what today proves is when we care about them, when we become champions in their lives, they more than fulfill their promise. They're smart and they're worthy of all of this attention.
There was some really great news, a milestone reached when it comes to graduation rates. What do you think the media's role was in that, Pat?
Very, very important, because over the past 4 years, through PBS NewsHour, through local content, high-quality content, content that matters, through documentaries like The Home Stretch or Frontlines focus on who these graduates really, or these potential graduates are and can be, through films such as 180 Days in a DC high school or 180 Days Hartsville. The media, the constant surround sound connected to engagement has really put a face behind the statistics of 1 million young people previously failing to graduate every year. And once you put that face on the statistic, you can't turn away. And when you don't turn away, good things happen.
Always. Secretary Vilsack, the first hour of this program, we're going to be talking about early learning. Can you tell us what the administration is doing on that front?
Absolutely. Look, the first 5 years of a child's life are critically important for that child's future. And the administration believes very strongly in early childhood education, trying to expand access to preschool, making sure that there are parent education classes available. There's a very serious commitment to this. And then obviously we want to make sure that when they get into school, they have the very best teachers. They have the best opportunity to graduate. We're proud of the fact that we have the highest graduation rate in the history of the country, but it still means that 19% of American children are not graduating from high school, and that's something we need to work on.
Clearly, reports have shown, and I think it also is common sense, that a child who's fed during the day does better in school. What's the USDA doing on that front?
Well, we have a responsibility for the school lunch and school breakfast program. I'm proud of the fact that we've expanded significantly the school breakfast program. The reality is teachers will tell you if kids come to school hungry, they are not going to learn. We're also working on improving the quality of these meals. We want to make sure that kids get the biggest punch out of their nutrition that they possibly can. So we've improved the nutritional value of meals with more fruits and vegetables, more whole grains, more low-fat dairy. All of that's designed to also deal with the obesity issue that we're dealing with in this country. We also are very much involved in expanding summer feeding and weekend. The sad reality is that still there are 15 million children who live in food insecure homes today. We have some work to do in that score as well, but that number is coming down.
Pat, do you think it's realistic to try to hit that goal of a 90% graduation rate by 2020?
I do, and as the Secretary just spoke to the issue of poverty and some of the challenges these kids face, the interesting thing to me is when organizations such as America's Promise Alliance and the report Building a Grad Nation points to what we can do, it's very solvable. It takes a lot of people, but when you get right down to it, it only takes one person caring about that one child and saying, I'm going to stay with you through your education career because you're worth it. And we've met so many of these young people. I have been inspired by them and the champions in their lives as well.
As much as that number, graduating, is really important, it's also important that the diploma is relevant to the jobs that these students will be going into. How are you working on that front?
In terms of all of these organizations, public media is working with more than 1,500 organizations who have really focused on the indicators of how a child can succeed. And as the secretary said, it's important to focus early on. So you need good teachers, you need good nutrition. It isn't just one thing and then it happens. So I'm very, very hopeful because we've made such strides, but there's a long way to go, especially for those kids in high poverty communities, kids with disabilities. And we're very, very proud, public media is working with the Department of Education through Ready to Learn, that we're starting early on, because it's much better to fix the problem in the beginning, to identify the problem in the beginning, rather than waiting for triage when a child is ready or a young person is ready to graduate.
Yeah, clearly, clearly. Secretary Vilsack, later in the program, we're going to talk to a couple of really great kids who are in 4-H. I did 4-H when I was a little kid. Tell me a little bit about what role 4-H is playing in education.
Well, Soledad, we're very, very proud of the relationship that USDA has with 4-H. 7.5 million young people involved in that important organization, and it really gives kids, particularly early in life, the mentor that Pat talked about, the adult that cares about them, an opportunity for them to learn about themselves, to compete, to discipline themselves, to get something done, to reach a goal. It also is complemented by the nearly 660,000 young people that are involved in FFA, which is another organization that we support at USDA. All this is really designed to make sure that young people understand the opportunities that exist. I think one of the principal opportunities we have here tonight, or today rather, is to make sure that folks do understand that there is tremendous opportunities, job opportunities out here for those who do graduate from high school and those who go on to a community college or four-year college education, as the First Lady indicated. And that's certainly true in agriculture. I think people might be surprised how many thousands of job opportunities there are in agriculture and ag-related opportunities.
That's great to know. Secretary Vilsack and Pat Harrison, nice to see you both. Thanks for joining me on American Graduate Day. Truly appreciate it. Thank you.